So to install an impulse response file into the Convolver filter of EasyEffects, launch EasyEffects, go to Effects. Now I already have it installed, so I'm going to remove the Convolver effect. I'm going to start from scratch. So we go to Add Effect and we choose to add a Convolver filter, and then we need to load an import an impulse response file. I've already got one previously saved in my EasyEffects setting. Let's say I wanted to get another one, so I just googled for GitHub impulse response files for EasyEffects. Okay, so here's the first link, and I think somewhere here there are quite a few. IRS, that's the file. So these are all impulse response files. If you Google for Convolver filters, you'll see there's a lot of stuff on it. It's a major tool for digital signal processing, and an impulse response file. It's a bit like if you walk into an empty room, turn on your recorder and clap your hands, and then walk into another room. I say that the first room is a sound neutral room, like a recording room, with no response at all to clapping your hand. And then you walk into, say, an auditorium and clap your hands and record that response. And by comparing the response of the sonically neutral recording and what happened in the auditorium, you'll see that the auditorium changes phase of sounds. It introduces delay. It might change frequency response a little bit. The impulse response file captures all of that, and in a way that lets someone take a pure audio signal, like the pure hand clap, and recreate all the side effects of clapping in that particular room. So that's what an impulse response file does. It kind of allows reproduction of the response of a certain audio environment to input sound. And what people have done is they have, for instance, used a Windows laptop that has Dolby Atmos set up, and they punch in an impulse, and which is almost like a clap, it's more or less, and they see how the computer responds to that. They have a loop back and they record the audio response of the computer, and by comparing the input and the output signal, they create an impulse response file which lets a Convolver filter reproduce the sound processing that Dolby Atmos does. Of course, not a perfect reproduction, but a pretty close reproduction. So that's an impulse, an IRS, as it's called, EasyEffects. The generic name is an impulse response file. EasyEffects expects them in this IRS format. So you would click one of these and download it. Here's Dolby Atmos, the one I already have. Here's one that someone's done for, it must be an HTC file. They're very small files, so we can download it here. They're very small files. Once you've downloaded the file, let me download one. Now we go back to EasyEffects, and I go to Impulses, and I choose to import it. It's saved in my Downloads folder. Here it is. Open that. Now we've imported it, and it sort of goes into a library of impulse files. We then need to load it to make it apply. So if I wanted to apply the HTC one, I click load, and it's now active in my Convolver filter. And I also previously had loaded the Dolby Atmos one, so I now have two Convolver filters applied. That's probably not a very good idea in this case. So that's it. Now the Convolver filter is active, and audio EasyEffects, at least on my laptops, just automatically connects to audio going through Pipewire. I don't have to do anything. So it's now going to take the sound from my browser, if I'm watching a YouTube video or anything really, and put it through this Convolver processor, and you'll get a really big difference in the sound quality. Whether you like it or not is up to you, but it does manipulate the sound a lot, similar to what you see on a Windows laptop.